Obviously, I'm a Yankees fan, so I'd love to see him.
It's almost like legacy of like the NFL versus.
But I definitely think that Baker could be a really good player for the Panthers moving forward.
Did I say Oreos?
There's a lot of questions I have about Mahomes. Looks like a kid playing Madden.
Turning point in the game is the 13-second drive.
They play very hard, even though they're terrible.
He's a good pick. You for sure. He's going to be a good player. But I can't argue against the Jamar Chase pick.
They made moves saying we're going to win this year, at least get into the playoffs.
I'm going with my guy, Corey Seager. So glad.
What's good, y'all? My name is Austin Drummond, and I play rugby for the University of Notre Dame. And you're listening to The Outsider's Opinion with Austin and Kevin.
What's up, y'all? Welcome to our NFL Opinions of the Week. We're going to be reviewing, or we're going to be predicting rookie quarterbacks. We did this a few years ago, so if you're not familiar with it, totally good. You can check it out, see how we did. It was the Tua, Justin Herbert year. But the decaffeinated podcaster, Austin.
Yep. I do need some caffeine for how many of these prediction videos we're getting through. It takes me a while. I want to be right, Kevin. I hate losing to you.
Hey, it's all good. It's all a learning process. We're going through all the quarterbacks drafted, but to me, a lot of them I don't focus on because I don't think a lot of them are going to play. So
Yeah, I would argue we start with the bottom. So
I think that's good.
Max Duggan. I think Max Duggan will play 3 games. I have him 297 yards, 2 touchdowns, 0 picks. Not much playing time. He'll get some. I believe maybe Herbert, because they never know how to protect him, is out for half of a game or maybe a game and a half. And he gets some playing time, but nothing overly robust.
I'm going to go 0. He doesn't really play, so 0 for everything for Max Duggan.
And then for Tanner McKee, 1 game, 37 yards, 0 touchdowns, 1 pick. Again, this is just a guy I don't think is going to play all that much. The situation with the Eagles is, I would argue, pretty set.
Yeah. For here, I have 2 games because we saw Jalen Hurts miss some time last year. So I have 2 games, probably 150 passing, 200 rushing yards, maybe 2 touchdowns, and then 1 interception.
Sounds good. Do you want to go first on the next guy?
The next guy is Vikings, Jaren Hall, BYU, 0 games. I think they're going to stick with Kirk.
I agree, 0 games. Kirk isn't one known to get hurt all that often, and knock on wood, I hope it doesn't happen again. But I think he plays 0.
Yeah, I'll let you go first with your team.
So Sean Clifford, 2 games, 7 yards, 0 touchdowns, 0 picks. He comes in at the end of some blowouts.
Okay. 0 games for me. So 0.
Got it. For Dorian Thompson-Robinson, what do you got?
0. I think they're pretty set at quarterback.
I think there'll be some games where they're down or up a lot. And I have him playing 1 game, 44 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 pick. Maybe he gets a few drives in during that game and they're down by a lot.
Okay. And then Clayton Tune.
Clayton Tune, I have 4 games, 643 yards, 2 touchdowns, 3 picks. Kyler still, guys forget he tore his ACL. So I don't know if he's going to be back for week 1. And I would not be shocked if they try him out. And maybe Kyler, if it's a bad year, they sit him out early again and he plays a few games. I would not be surprised if he did play 4.
Yeah, this is a guy who I expect to play. I've been playing 7 games because they've had injuries for a lot of their quarterbacks that were late in the season. So 7 games, probably 500 passing and 600 rushing, and then probably 5 interceptions with 7 touchdowns.
Okay. What about Aiden O'Connell?
Aiden O'Connell, I believe, will play 0 games.
Wow, this is where we're really differ. I have Aiden O'Connell playing 7 games, 1,211 yards, 14 touchdowns, 2 picks. I believe he plays out of his mind because Jimmy G, someone who has dealt with injuries before, deals with them. And we see Josh McDaniels somehow get something out of Aiden O'Connell.
Yeah, that would be interesting. Now we go to the Rams, Stetson Bennett. I'm going to say 3 games, 300 passing yards, maybe 100 rushing, 0 picks, 3 touchdowns.
We disagree gravely again. Stetson Bennett, 10 games,
Okay.
2,800 yards, 17 touchdowns, 5 picks. I don't know if I trust Stafford's health. I don't know if I trust Stafford's want to play anymore. He really considered retirement this past year. And if the team really, really sucks when he comes back and he's not feeling 100%, I believe he calls it quits mid-year.
Okay, interesting. Now we'll go to the Saints guy, Jake Hayner, Fresno State. I'm going to go 0 games.
I have 1 game, 3 yards, 0 picks, 0 touchdowns.
That's fair. Then we have your guy, Hendon Hooker. I'll let you go first.
Hendon Hooker, 3 games, 177 yards, 1 touchdown, 0 picks. I don't think they're going to play him all that much, even though I definitely believe he's quality. I think the Lions will just sit behind Goff at least this year.
Yeah, the only thing I see is him coming on for rushing situation. So I said 1 game, 125 rushing yards, 0 passing, and then 1 touchdown.
1 game, 125 rushing?
Yeah, I think he's going to be what we saw early on with Jalen Hurts.
You believe he plays 1 game against 125 rushing yards?
Yes.
That would be utterly remarkable. I'll let you go first with Will Levis.
Will Levis, 3 games, 125 passing, 50 rushing, 2 touchdowns, 3 interceptions.
I have Will Levis playing well. 8 games,
Oh, okay.
1,237 yards, 10 touchdowns, 3 picks. I believe that he'll be or play safe when he plays for the Titans. I think he will because what Ryan Tannehill has said and what the Titans are doing, drafting a QB back-to-back relatively high, I think they want to move on. I think Tannehill may be traded, especially if the Titans don't get off to a hot start.
We've talked about it, and I've heard what Tannehill said. It's kind of the same thing, and I think it will be the same thing. Maybe the year after is when we see. But now this is when we get into the meat of it. Anthony Richardson.
17 games, 3,089 yards, 15 touchdowns, 7 picks.
Okay. All right. 17 games for me as well. 2,000 passing, 890 rushing, 13 interceptions, 15 touchdowns.
Okay, I'll let you go first with CJ Stroud.
CJ Stroud to me is 17 games. If they mess with it, to me it just hurts him and Davis Mills. So I think he's going to go all 17 games. 2,200 passing, 670 rushing, 25 touchdowns, 10 interceptions.
Only 2,200 passing? That's pretty
Yeah.
remarkable. I have 17 games, 3,801 yards,
Okay.
24 touchdowns, 14 picks. Not many touchdowns to go around there. They don't have that many great wide receivers at his disposal, but I believe he does play well in his time.
All right. Yeah, I think he's going to be a better passer, but overall, I think Bryce Young is going to play all 17 games, 3,500 passing, 500 rushing, 31 touchdowns, 8 interceptions.
8 or 18?
8.
Got it.
He's going to keep the ball safe.
We're pretty different here. I have 15 games, partially because the Panthers said that Andy Dalton is still their starter, and partially because Bryce Young doesn't seem like the most healthy person. Just given last year where he was hurt, it's not just a small frame. We've seen injuries. So I'll say 15 games, 2,857 yards, 18 touchdowns, 10 picks, which is serviceable. Again, if he deals with some injuries, those numbers will be obviously affected. Still great potential. I just think injuries may play a little bit of an issue.
All right. Well, yeah, we'll review. We'll see what happens. I think Bryce Young is going to look like the most complete quarterback. We'll see. Any final thoughts?
I'm excited for next year. I really hope I'm right about some of these guys at the bottom because that would be pretty cool.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool. We'll see. Thank you for listening to Outsiders Opinions.